As now, if you read them on the screen, the United Nations Human Rights Chief, when the Commissioner for Human Rights for United Nations himself, the biggest boss where he be based for Geneva, for Europe, a day inside Cameroon on a 2-day visit, actually 3 days, on the 5th, 6th, and today, the 7th of August, 2024. So we will get a session with you at Blacklex. When I see the pictures there on the screen, and we'll show you the videos, we'll show you more information, and then explain for now what it happened. So the man named now Volker Turk. So when I see a picture down on the screen, and the other pictures them that were engagements with the team inside Yaoundé yesterday, the 6th of August, 2024. So I want to make una pay una attention to the information where I could display on the screen right now. This one, it be now the actual website for the United Nations Human Rights, the Office of the High Commissioner, okay? Now their website that, and they post this article now on the 2nd of August, 2024, now see them as a highlight them on the screen for now, which is just 5 days ago. The headlines, it talks to the United Nations Human Rights Chief to conduct official visits to Cameroon from the 5th to the 7th of August, 2024. So make us zoom in the article so that may be big enough for now for you read them on the screen, or we will read them, okay? So the article go on for talk say, Geneva, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, will conduct an official mission to Cameroon from the 5th to the 7th of August. During his visit, he get a scheduled meeting for government officials, them including President Paul Biya himself and Prime Minister Joseph John Gute, as well as members of a wide range of political parties, officials of Cameroon Human Rights Commission, representatives of civil society organizations, and members of the diplomatic corps and the United Nations entities them for Yaoundé. So the Human Rights Council Chief, or the Human Rights Chief, will also inaugurate a new premises for the Central African Regional Office in the capital of Yaoundé. The office covers Burundi, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Rwanda, Sao Tome, and Principe. So now the countries in that way, this office for human rights, where the United Nations they open them inside Cameroon, it will cover all of these countries them. And they choose for can open this office inside Cameroon because of the security, the location of Cameroon be central to all of these areas, and Cameroon it been one of the most advanced of all of these countries where they don't name them, where you get access to good travel and all of those things. And capital Yaoundé, it be very safe and secure. Now, why that way they decide for hold this meeting now for Yaoundé. Now, make I take that one off the screen because now the information that way I'd want for present and so now about that visit. Now, their official website that way it present that information. Now, if I look on our screen, I will show now, subsequent information for just add meat to the bones. So this one now meeting maybe happened at the last time this way the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner it be visit Cameroon now for May 2019. At that time, the United Nations Human Rights Chief it will be now Michelle Bachelet, where it been the former president of Chile. So now only the 2 times in this way, this Human Rights Commission, they don't visit Cameroon during this time of Ambazonian terrorism inside Cameroon. We now also need to understand, say, the United Nations, it understands, say, there is a humanitarian and human rights abuses situation where they happen inside Cameroon. That is the only classification where they don't classify anything where they happen in the Anglophone zone as far as the United Nations it be concerned. They know say no be war. They understand saying that a humanitarian crisis, a situation where people's rights are being denied, especially the human right to education, the right for picking them for go for school, and all of those things them that's also human rights them. So now the kind of things that I want to get for understand. So why it be important for this guy visit? Now say make we look back to Ambazonia terrorism for 2017, but especially 2018 and 2019 at the peak of Ambazonia terrorism. When I say self, when I go confess, say it is so at the peak of Ambazonia terrorism, we will get this situation where Amba terrorists they will protest all over the world for United States Congress, United States White House, outside the British Parliament, outside the British Prime Minister's residence for 10 Downing Street, outside the German and all the European institutions them and South Africa. These Amber fools they're all over the world. They protest and they make nuisance and noise. That was 2017-18, maybe parts of 2019. After COVID-19, the whole of 2020 will be in lockdown. By the time where the world emerged out of the COVID-19 coronavirus lockdown by 2021, the reality where we don't see them and say amber terrorists not get the capability again, even for hold the international protests and rallies where they hold them in previous years, then they don't get the capability. Why? A few things that don't happen. Some of them they think today, so this thing will be a short thing, they get a good case, they go get United Nations, they go get independence. So some of them will back them, thinking say it could be something will just happen. No. So they will promise them say it could take 2 years. But as they think the delay, they run out of money. A lot of people the way they will support, they don't support anymore. And not to talk about the influence of we the black legs, the way we join the whole thing. We start the sunshine them, we take their pictures, the way they will demonstrate for Australia, for South Africa, for Germany, for UK, for America. We take their pictures, then we broadcast them for social media. We bring about consequences on them. So a lot of people they go underground, they run. They need to still protest, they need to still demonstrate, they need to still want to show their face for media because they yes we bully them and intimidate them and kick them out of social media. Fantastic. They think that they fight war, they never even begin. And also the whole thing they die down. They don't get the money anymore. Their lives don't work anymore, and we don't compromise a lot of the terrorists the way they be there on the ground. Remember when back in the days, the way we be get Ayuk Tabe lockdown, Naira 10 lockdown. Every time where they will take Ayuk Tabe and the Naira 10, they go for court, they will declare lockdown for Bamenda. And I say Bamenda because now Bamenda struggle. Now only Bamenda be in a place where it be the over. Respect this nonsense, they goes down lockdown. Everyone where they declare and Bamenda people they strong for house. Now them sabi. So now the reality that they will declare all these stupid lockdowns. Them every time we minister, cabinet minister, even not just minister of transport, minister of anything, if the tribe will go for Anglophones, they go declare lockdown, ghost town. Time where Antonio Guterres will even one day, they declare lockdown, ghost town. They say the United Nations General Assembly, they can't hold. They declare ghost town, lockdown. Mami Wata, ghost town, Mami Wata, and all of that noise. But when I see as this Mr. Volker Turk, a day inside Cameroon, they published for their website 5 days ago, say, hey, they take this official trip to Cameroon. Not a single amber terrorist group, not even say they even announce or even attempt for intimidate or attempt for announce a lockdown or ghost town. They don't tire. We don't defeat them. Even the ability for give empty threats, it don't reduce to this level. Prime Minister, His Excellency Chief Dr. Dion Gute, it take official visits to the Northwest and the Southwest region, but they didn't even care, they didn't even declare lockdown, they didn't even attempt for sabotage. I mean, say even the fake attempt where you just post on it for Facebook, knowing fully well say nothing will happen. They don't even have the capability anymore. And remember, say some of their biggest propagandists where they be run around for social media, they declare say they so they go gary this, gary that, they go compromise this, declare lockdowns and all of those things. Them they Eric Tato them, they Tapang Ivo them, they Mark Barretta them. We don't kick them out of social media, so they don't even get the voice. Even if they be want to declare it, even if they be want to do it, they don't even have the space on social media anymore to be able to do that. Secondly, even if they go declare them now, say they don't declare lockdown, who could try for implement them for them on the ground? Because we don't compromise a lot of the shit, no white blast them for the way, it just become laughable. Now, when I pay attention to una screens, now make I show something for una. Because I need to ever talk me with empty mop. When I look on a screen, I don't just a sample, a very small sample of the biggest noise makers, some of the biggest noise makers, the way they be there on social media, where they propagate this nonsense, where they be run around, shoot gun for air for Moya, for inside the BLM, for inside Mancon, then run, enter inside bush. Now them this. Transporter, for instance, now if they disturb Moya for Fakode, 10 Kobo for Dian, Meme, Ivomba for Teke, Chacha for Bui, Ayeke for the BLM, Efang, maybe the cross enter inside Manu, and some one time the cross enter inside the BLM, but it be based inside Momo. You will know Oliver Territory Export very well for the BLM, even call itself the king. Okay? When I get no pity for Buyan Goketunja, when I get Arke for Boyo, you get Bitakola as well for Southwest there, and Mad Dog for Mancon. Now, just a few of the shit, no white blast, we don't wipe them. Now, the kind of noise makers in this way, they run around, they declare lockdowns, they make them amber things that they did, but where them day to day? We don't silence all of these kind of noise makers. And so now one of the reasons that way, they fear for 2024 for even attempt for declare lockdown, because they don't even get the capability on social media for declare them, let alone the capability on the ground for enforce them. So that's the reality. When I see the analysis, how they bring up with no, it's sweet, no be so. It is stew, no be so my country people them. It is stew very well, my country people them.
But this is the reality. People listen to the devil himself, my country people of La Republique, more than they listen to some Amazonian activists. This is the reality.
Well, we had no photographer. The video that Telma made has no sound at all. But the big sister Kelly presented her own. She said that she was a victim and an orphan. Their mom had been killed brutally, and they have other needs, and they've been suffering, really suffering. And even the emotional trauma is too much. They need counseling, they need this, and even till today, she is still very traumatized emotionally. And that justice has not been gotten for their mother. The case is still in court. So they should do something to obtain justice for the killers of her mother, who was a wardress. I presented the association of victims and said that we want justice for victims. We want just punishment for wrongdoing. People have committed crimes. Until some people no longer have their body parts, they have deprived the people of the right to life and education, that even the right to health and other things are the rights of the human being as enshrined in the convention. So we want justice for the victims. There are victims who are already dead. There are victims whose body parts have been cut off by Amazonian terrorists, and that all of that they're using force to stop education. So there should be justice fast, justice that is not delayed, because even the cases that have been taken to courts here, like in the Ayafo case, they have not been tried. So I want that the government should do more in bringing the perpetrators of terrorist acts in the Northwest and Southwest to book. They should do something, and that the UN High Commission too for human rights should do their own part, because actually we are not seeing any results. We are not seeing anything, and the victims are suffering, really suffering. So some people don't even have breast milk. What would they eat before breast milk will flow? And the perpetrators of these acts, the government has stretched its hand of magnanimity to them and offered them a DDR center. The victims feel forgotten. The victims are like, did we do a bad thing to remain patriotic and not pick up arms against our country? And the type of killings are killings that are unheard of. They kill human beings in the most heinous manner, and they have gone beyond mere killing, mere dehumanizing. They are so debased that they have killed people and cooked their flesh and eaten. They have killed people and used them for ritual. So the level of level of brutality is too much. We're asking on our government to look into the plight of victims, asking on the UN, whatever, to look into the plight of victims, to see that their needs are met, to see that they have justice, to help them in their resilience, like we do sometimes. We do train people in this and this for economic empowerment. That is what we expect from them. There's also a bricolé my own. There was so much traffic, I'm just reaching home. Only sharing videos without a sound. The good thing is that in the closing remark, the UN commissioner said it was a good thing that victims had come this time around. He was happy to see the victims and hear their own part of the story and know what they're going through. He was going to instruct the Cameroon government to look into the plight of victims and see to it that they obtain justice and that their needs are met. And he, on his own part, was going to do what he can do, and that their doors were open. Collaboration continues. Igwe, she presented herself as Florence Ayafo, who was brutally murdered. She is the daughter, and that she was still suffering from emotional trauma, and her family was really suffering. due to the fact that the case was being postponed, no justice had been rendered, and that her mother was a prison guard, a wardress, that they should help her with the emotional trauma she needs counseling. Actually, they had never watched that video of the killing of their mother, and they have sworn that they will never watch it. Even her small sister, who fainted, they have sworn that in their lives they will never watch that video. Igwe, how do we do if you want to broadcast it with that? How did you call them? Instruct. That instruct it be devastating like Chris Anno devastation. Country people, sorry about the instruct. You know, in Cameroon, we are very used to using big words, instruct and whatever, and every person, even a small chief of service like me, instructs people. I meant to say what he said was that what the UN High Commissioner said was that he would inform the Cameroon government to look into the plight of victims judicially and otherwise. Not that he would instruct. No, no, no. Sorry for that, and thanks for asking me if that was actually what he said and for making that observation. Thank you. Just too tired. It was long and so much traffic before I came back home.